Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. So today, good morning Paul. So today we're going to be refreshing a couple of packages that have been released from the upstream Mate desktop project. We're going to be updating those for Debian and Ubuntu and making sure that's all fine. Indeed, it is Chelsea Cucumber time today. And if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, then this was originally streamed live on twitch.tv/Wimpy's World. I stream every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so if you want to join in with the rest of the gang, then head over to twitch.tv/Wimpy's World. That's odd. How is that bringing up that message in chat? Anyway, that's I think coincidental, but I don't quite know what triggered that. So welcome, hello Paul, how you doing this morning? I've got my cup of tea here. Hey Adusa, how you doing? Good morning Takov, hello, welcome one and welcome all.
Thank you for the follow, WSL Corsair.
I know who this is. Well, hello there. Hello, how the devil are you? Thanks for stopping by and thanks for the follow. Good morning Phil. Right. So we are going to do these couple of things with the Mate packages because that's what I said we were going to do today. However, there's a couple of things I want to go and test beforehand. So I've done a little bit of a refresh of some of the streaming stuff. So Takov, I see that this is what you're up to here. So Takov has been chatting in our Discord and talking about experimenting with Vulkan on Ubuntu Mate for the Raspberry Pi 4. And I think the issue you're running into there is that the Raspberry Pi doesn't support OpenGL. It supports OpenGL ES. So I think it's OpenGL ES 2.1. So I think the problems that you're bumping into are the facilities that some of these applications stroke games that you're trying to get working just don't exist on the platform. So disappointing news, I'm sure, but I admire your endeavour. It's been interesting to read what you've been up to. In fact, it had me thinking maybe we should do some not on Twitch stream, but in Discord, like community catch-ups where all of us that have been tinkering and fiddling with stuff can just have a little informal chat and update each other on the things that we've been working on, because there's so much interesting stuff going on Discord. It might be a good idea to just like have a little community hangout from time to time and catch up on all the cool stuff people have discovered. Let me know what you think about that, those of you that hang out in the Discord. So the first thing is, so I've been tinkering with OBS. This is a step towards just giving things a slight refresh around here, but I had this big backlog of stuff and I thought I'd try and get a few things off the backlog. So the first thing I'm going to try is over here in a secret window that none of you can see. I'm going to type some things in and I have no idea if this is going to work. So I'm not even going to say what I'm doing. I'm just doing it and we'll see what happens. So hey Zebedee Boss, I've got some news for you. Hang around Zebedee Boss, there's something coming up that you were specifically asking about. So I'll give a little insight into that in a moment, but for the moment, I'll just wait for this to pass us by.
Birmingham 13.
Hey Birmingham, that's an interesting spelling. Welcome to the stream. So let me click this button here. Let's see what happens. Hopefully something and not nothing. Although it looks like, oh, there it is. It actually works. Oh, there it is. It actually works. Oh, there it is. It actually works. Oh, there it is. And I now need to go and close this browser over here. Okay, so that worked. So we've been raided a couple of 3 times recently, and I was a bit embarrassed that the raid alerts weren't working.
Thank you for the follow, BigDiff____.
Hey Big Diff, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so what I've set up is the raid alerts work and they do some stuff. So yeah, there we go. That works. So hopefully the next time we get raided, I won't miss it. And then I've also got a shout out command, which we've had for a while, but I will need to remember to use that to redirect people. Morning, King Egypt. How you doing? Hello, Only It's Gnome. Only It's a Gnome. Yeah, and the echo was because I raided myself and I had another browser open on another workspace. I forgot to mute the tab. So that's what that was. It's fine. It works is the important thing. So that's just one of the little changes. But actually, so the way that's working is through Atom. I'll just bang that in here. So this Atom is this tool here that I use to do a lot of the integration with Twitch and a lot of the automation, and it manages like all the visual effects and stuff. And I'm using another tool as well, and I've sort of combined them all together. So now when I say, hey, head to our Discord, and I put our special Discord prompt in, not only does it put it in chat, but it now triggers little animation overlays like what you can see just here. So we've got a whole bunch of these now. So look, I can even do things like this. So if I say, hey, you should follow me on Twitter, and you should, by the way, follow me on Twitter, that'd be good. Oh, that one didn't work, did I? That'll be because I spelt it incorrectly. Can't type for toffee. There we go. There we go. So it'll put it in chat, and then it'll play the animation overlays as well for different things as well. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. So that's a little quality of life improvement. There's a bunch of little things like that. So when new people are asking about projects as well, I've put things in for some of the popular projects we work on around here, so we can quickly drop links and explanations into the chat. And then here's something that people might be interested in, because I know a lot of us Linux enthusiasts are big Telegram users. So there's a Telegram updates channel. So if you like to get stuff on Telegram as opposed to via Discord or Twitter or whatever, that's just an updates only channel, and all the little bits and pieces. So you'll get go live notifications in there, and new software release updates and all sorts of stuff like that. So Zeb, what we're going to have a look at now, very briefly but in no detail whatsoever, is something else that I was updating. If I refresh this page here, this is in air quotes my website, and here we go. You can now see when I refreshed, it's updated here. This is not perfect, so this obviously needs some work, so we'll have to have a little look at how to improve this. But Zeb was asking the other day about if this then that for automation. This site for the longest time was entirely updated through if this then that, and then the API has changed and it all stopped working. So I refreshed this mostly over the weekend, and now this will automatically post updates in here based on things that I'm doing. So in a future stream, not long from now, Zeb, I'm going to be actually looking at my if this then that setup and how it glues together all of this stuff so that I never have to update social media and this web page ever. It just all happens automatically. And then here you can see the kit link, and I can drop this in the chat as well. So if you do bang kit, it'll give you a link, and I've added to the kit list there the parts for my Raspberry Pi 4 dev workstation, and also the parts for that SteamOS console that I built a couple of weeks ago. There's been some interest in like that, so it's available if you want to go and have a look at what I'm using, and all of the gubbins I use for streaming is up there as well. If there's any other part lists you're interested in, I'm probably going to put one together for different sort of budgets of the Raspberry Pi 4 thing, because I realise this one's a bit maxed out, but I've got two other builds which are much more cost effective. One of which my daughter's using over the summer to learn Python, so I'll be putting that one in here. So this is all if this then that powered, and this is a nice hack I've done into the Tumblr theme. And yeah, I also use Tumblr to host my own domain, which is a nifty feature. So yeah, so that's been changed. These all need massaging. You know, these updates, it's very difficult to know what's going to get output until you... Hello. That's off center, isn't it? Right, that's my automated prompt to do things. So that's that. I think that's all I need to say about that. The other thing I'm going to mention is, I know ads are an issue. I try to minimize that. Some of you may be aware, I run that 2-minute delay on the stream starting, and in that 2-minute delay I run 90 seconds of ads. That's not because I'm interested in the ad revenue, it's because it then turns off ad pre-rolls for half an hour. So it's a mechanism to try and ensure that people joining the stream in that initial period don't see any adverts. If you do have Amazon Prime, I don't know if people are aware, but you can use Amazon Prime to sub to one channel for free a month, and that will disable ads. So I would just mention that. It's not because I'm interested in the ad revenue or the Prime subs. I know ads wind people up, so I'm just mentioning that as a way to get around it. So I think that's all of the housekeeping stuff. What else did I... Oh, I did work on something else. I've made a panic room, probably belatedly. Last year there was quite a lot of sort of spam raids going on, and also hate raids. And I had one happen to me. You know, it wasn't targeted, it was just one of these random events that were happening on Twitch at the time. And I was trying to think of like what you could do to combat that. So, man, this is going to run a 30-second advert, but I'm telling you that now ahead of time because I'm going to show you a new feature of the channel. So this is here in case we have one of these moments where a load of bots come charging into the chat, and it's called the panic room. So I'm just going to explain what it is before I activate it. The purpose of the panic room is to basically close down chat. So puts on slow mode, follower only mode, unique chat mode, clears the chat history, and then runs a 30-second advert, because my theory is if a bunch of bots have come in to spam you, then you may as well get a bit of money out of it, and that 30 seconds buys enough time for mods and me to go in and sort out the mess. So I'm going to enable the panic room so you can see what it looks like, and it will run a 30-second ad, and then but it will also notify in chat exactly what's going on. So I'm going to do it now. Here we go. I need to change the transition, so this is one of the first things I've noticed. And there we go. Now, for those of you that are subbed, I will just say this. This buys us another 27 minutes of ad-free time. So, whilst this is a little bit of a, you know, inconvenience for some, there is some upside. So there we go. The advert should have finished running. So there we go. That's what the panic room looks like, and that's its purpose. So you can see in chat what it does there. And now what we'll do is we'll exit out of the panic room, and it should lift all of those chat restrictions. So there we go. There we go. There we go. So so there we go. That's a little quality of life improvement for me. Yeah, I know. So Paul makes a good point that, you know, it's sad that we have to do this. Now, the good thing is that in whilst I was on my streaming hiatus, Atom grew a whole bunch of functionality, and it was like chat integration and stuff like that. So Atom makes it possible to create a lockdown, which is pretty cool, right? So
Thank you for the follow, Mine Only.
Hi Mine Only, welcome to the stream. So there we go. I tried to type panic 4 times. Okay, so Zeb, it actually blocked. The idea of that unique only chat is to, you know, if spammers are jamming the same stuff in the chat, it should filter all of that down. So I did find a bug in Atom in that the follower only mode isn't being toggled on and off, and they fixed that last night, so that'll be in the next release of Atom. So I think that's sort of, oh, and then for those of you that were here early, you will have noticed that I've got some new transitions, some new Stinger transitions and stuff. So I'll be refreshing a few bits and pieces. Takov, thanks for that. I'll be refreshing a few bits and pieces. No massive overhauls, but just a few improvements here and there. But I was a bit embarrassed that the raid stuff wasn't working, and that clearly does work now. Took a bit of debugging to figure that out. It was my mistake in the way I'd got my alerts configured. So, Phil Clifford says chat history was not cleared if you intended that to happen. So Phil, because you are a moderator, the chat history doesn't get cleared for mods. It only gets cleared for viewers. So the reason for that is if there's a bunch of nefarious accounts sending messages, then we can still identify those accounts and deal with them. But for everyone else, anything that could have been put in chat that we don't want people to be, you know, affected by, that all goes away. Buchan, hello there, how you doing? So it says, I'm not subbed, but I didn't see any ads. It happens on other channels too. Is it a regional thing? I'm watching from Croatia. Can it be there are no ads? Is it possible you're using an ad blocker in your browser? That could be one reason why you're not seeing the ads. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know whether ads are geographic or not. Right then. So you don't know. So you're not running an ad blocker. Well, in which case, maybe it's because I've already run the pre-roll ads at the start of the stream. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I don't understand how this stuff works. All I was doing was trying to demo a feature that maybe one day I'll be a good Boy Scout and I'll be prepared for a bad moment, or at least we will be prepared for a bad moment. So, yes, indeed, Seb makes a good point. Ads and Twitch are super confusing. Yeah, I'm waiting for this new thing to roll out, where they enable you to like preview categories and channels, like watch a minute of different channels whilst you're trying to select who to view without seeing the advert for the first like preview window, which would be nice. There we go. So Daz Knowles, hello, welcome to the stream. They say, yeah, I think if you have ads at the start, then you don't get the ads midstream. Okay, well, it's interesting. So I think I may have found a way to game Twitch there, because when I ran that 30-second ad, did anyone see a 30-second ad when I put the panic room on? Just let me know in chat if anyone saw ads when the panic room was running. If it didn't display any ads, I've just found a way to game the system, because I ran a 90-second pre-roll which disabled ads for 32 minutes, and when I ran that 30-second ad, it disabled it for an additional 27. So that's interesting. Takov saw ads. Okay, that's good enough for me to know that ads are working. I think Zebedee, you didn't see any, because I think you kindly subscribed the other day, so subs don't see ads at all. There's an option in the Twitch settings for the streamers that you can say like subscribers don't see ads, and I've got that turned on. Yeah, so King Egypt is subbed as well. Yeah, and Paul as well. Yeah, so that makes sense that the subbed accounts didn't see any ads. Okay, cool. Right, I think that was everything I wanted to touch on with regards to how I'm doing this. So for anyone else that's interested in streaming, why does that keep coming around so quickly? I'll have to look into that. That one seems to be popping up a bit soon. So for anyone else who's interested in streaming on Linux, the tools that are your best friends for automating stuff are Stream Elements. I'm currently using their chatbot, but only until Atom gets its chatbot implementation. Atom itself, which I'll put in the chat again, which is a fantastic tool, and I've been on like an insider for some time, and I've been happy. I'm a paying customer, but it's great, and it runs on Linux. And the lead developer was very insistent from the outset that this would be a multi-platform tool, and thank goodness, because it is the only game in town for Linux, and in fact, fast becoming the only game in town, full stop, for automation software for streamers. And then there's another bit of software that I'm using called Triggerfire, which is a web-hosted thing. And I'll just put that link in here as well. And I'm using that to do some additional integration with chat commands and OBS animations. So at the moment I'm using those three things together, but Atom is adding all of the features that I need that I will eventually be able to just use Atom. But for anyone that's interested, those are the three tools that I use to, make interesting things happen on the stream here. Like when people follow and what have you, and all that stuff kicks off, that's all integrated through Atom. Right, okay, enough chat about streaming. Oh no, one last thing. I know what the stream is going to be on Friday morning. The stream on Friday morning is going to be looking at OBS 28 beta. So about 6 hours ago, the beta for OBS Studio 28 was released. There is a lot of headline grabbing new features in there, which are mostly for Windows and Mac OS. But there is one killer feature in there for Linux. Now, I don't know how easy this is going to be, but what I'm going to have a go at on Friday is updating my build scripts to try and build the OBS Studio 28 beta. And that's in readiness for when it actually goes final, so that I can release a version as part of my OBS fully loaded project. So that's what I'm going to be tinkering around with on Friday. I think there is a very high chance of complete and utter failure because there's so many changes. I think it's highly likely I won't get a build built, but we will see how it goes. But that's what I'm going to be looking at on Friday. So I think that's the last OBS Studio thing. And then we got an update from Phil here, who says, so somebody reports here, I'm watching Wimpy's World, not using an ad blocker, did not get an ad. Chat did not clear. I found out why it chat was cleared. Because of better TTV. Okay. Thank you for that feedback. I appreciate that. I will we'll have a think about that, whether or not we leave better TTV enabled or not. We'll have a think. Okay, thank you for the feedback. That's Paul. I think Paul is asking how many shunky shell scripts in addition to those other things. Well, let's find out. Because there are a few. There's some glue code that holds it all together. So let's just take a quick look. I have a directory, scripts, streaming. 30 shonky shell scripts is the answer to your question. So yeah, so I have a bunch of scripts here that do different things because well, for reasons like when the stream comes up, Atom actually like brings the stream up and tells OBS to start streaming and all the rest of it, and then Atom calls a bunch of scripts, one of which is like this OBS start stream script, because I stream from 2 locations and my camera positions are slightly different. It like switch, and also the equipment is different in different places, so that turns on and off different scenes and sources and filters based on where I'm streaming from, so I don't need to manually go and do that. So there's a whole bunch. Now technically Atom can do all of that now, but I had these shell scripts from before Atom and they're sort of battle tested. So yeah, these are my scripts that help hold it all together. And Atom doesn't yet have light support, so when I'm at home, I haven't streamed from home for ages, but when people follow and all the rest of it, the lights in the room also animate in sync, and these are the scripts that control all of that light show stuff. In fact, last night it was about 1 AM and I was just tinkering with these bits I've shown you. So I'd got OBS open and I'd got Atom open, and somebody followed the channel, and I was sat there in the dark, and all of a sudden all the lights start flashing, and then when they finish flashing they get reset to like studio mode, so it's all really bright. Now that was a bit of a shock to the retinas at 1 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that was fun. I probably need to put some additional checks in those light things to say am I actually streaming before these scripts get executed. Right then, well, as we're here, let's just go. We're going to be in development Debian PKG Mate today, is where most of the work is going to happen. We could do this almost all in the command line, but I think I'll use Visual Studio Code for my sanity. So yeah, well, Paul, it's very true, right? You know, I are the purveyors of the finest shell scripts. I was thinking about maybe cutting that out. Like, maybe I should stop like memeing on shell scripts and use some proper languages for some of this stuff. I tend to use shell scripts because I get a kick out of doing stuff you shouldn't be doing with shell scripts. And also, you'll notice some of the projects that we've created here have been very good for engagement because they are shell scripts. Hey Luke, good morning, how are you doing? And it's only a GNOME says, talking of Ubuntu Mate, has anyone got XRDP working on Mate 2204? Not right now, but I did have. I was playing with it a few weeks ago. But I ended up using No Machine for what I needed to use in the end. But I did run that for a little spell. It was working fine. Right then. So let's go and have a look at what we need to update. I was a bit surprised. I thought there were more updates than there actually are. So let's just head over here. So how do we know what new packages are set out? So in the Mate desktop Twitter, it automatically puts out updates like this when new packages are released. And in actual fact, this is generated with if this then that, which I've just moved over to a new account to include a bit more detail. So yeah, these are in fact the 2 updates. In fact, that's a lie. There's this one here. So Kaja has just been, well, 11 days ago, been updated to 126.2. And then we've got Mate Applet. So there's only 2 packages here that need revising. So, so King Egypt is... I've been meaning... So King Egypt is talking about shell script video games. I did make a bullet hell shoot 'em up in Bash for a coding competition a couple of 3 years ago, and I have been meaning to drag that out on stream and give it a little refresh. So maybe I'll do that. It's called ANSI Alien Attack, and it's well, I'm rather proud of it, I have to say. If anyone wants to take a look ahead of time, the project is here. Oh, no, not there. This is another project entirely. The project is... oh gosh. Where is it? There it is, ANSI Alien Attack. So, this was made for Boss Talk Live 2019, I think. So, quite some time ago. And it's basically my implementation of Raiden in Bash with sprites and animation all written using just crazy shell scripting. So if you want, dare I say, a masterclass in shell scripts, this is probably the place to start. It's all running in subshells. It's pretty sophisticated stuff with game loops and everything you'd expect to find in a, dare I say, modern game engine. It supports controllers, it's got multi-threaded sound effects, it's got actual sprites and sprite collision. It's a bit mental. Needless to say, this won handsomely at the time. So yeah, it's been a while since I've looked at this. I bet I probably can't even remember how it all holds together now. So is that just the graphic assets as ANSI? I think it is. And then here we go. So I broke out all of the modules here. So this is the rendering engine. I tell you what, if we get through this Mate packaging in double quick time, maybe I'll see if we can fire it up. How about that? Right then, so I used the Mate desktop Twitter to see that these are the two packages. So here we are. Here's the applets update. So yeah, that's not a bad idea actually. Yeah, explosions list in the game connected to the lights. That'd be nifty, wouldn't it? So I see there's a few things. Oh, what's this? Mandy's worked on some stuff. So Mandy says they're rewriting all their bash scripts with TypeScript. Aren't you using some like TypeScript extension, or just like straight up TypeScript? Yeah, I saw that you were doing that. Yes. Yeah, interesting point. Yeah, you don't need a snap since a single binary. So does it, because I've seen some node projects like ship a single, I'm going to call it a binary because it's just a single blob that is executable and seems to have all of the dependencies lumped inside it. I'm not a super up-to-date JavaScript developer, so I don't know what all of the current technologies are with that stuff. Superbase being low-code platform. Okay, okay, so that's for your stateful stuff. Okay, nice. I'm really interested in getting into a bit of Golang. I think there's a couple of projects I want to contribute to that are written in Golang. So I know enough. I don't even know enough to be dangerous. I'm just flat out dangerous with Golang. I know enough to make trivial changes, but I'd like to up my game there. Right then, so let's go and take a look. We'll hop into VS Code and we will go and see if these two packages are in a reasonable state or not, because it's highly likely they could have uncommitted changes from when I was furiously trying to get Ubuntu Mate 2204 out the door. So Mate applets is where we'll start. And we do have some outstanding changes here. So what are those? Oh, an upload for vocal. That's fine. Oh, okay, this is all fine. This is all fine. We can do this. We can stash those changes. We can pull whatever is in Debian Salsa. So these packages are maintained in Debian's source trees on salsa.debian.org. So this is the current state of things. And if we look here, I'm going to have to do absolutely nothing. Can you see what's happened here? So my good friend Mike Gabriel has already updated Mate applets to the new release in Debian. So he did that about a week ago. So no no work to be done there. Well, that was easy. It looks like this is very quickly going to become an anti-alien attack stream. So let's just go and do this. Let's head back over to the terminal and let's go to just there. What we'll do now is we'll just check, because it's possible I would have had a block on auto importing that package from Debian. Oh no, I don't. So it's all done. There we go. That package is in. So that was it. There was no work to do there. So Mike Gabriel is my collaborator in Debian on Mate packaging. So it's all done. He's done everything we need for that. What could we do? We don't need to do any of this. Someone was asking about me creating PPAs. I was going to do that as an entirely separate project. So I'm not going to touch any of that now. So let's go and see if we get, if lightning strikes twice. There's a good chance. Oops, let's get to the right place. There's a good chance we're not going to have a lot to do here. So I was all prepared to do this, and then the one thing I didn't check is, has anyone else actually done this? It's been like 2 years since anyone else actually did any of the package maintenance, so I'm a bit surprised. So let's see what's outstanding. Okay. We'll look at the diff on Git, and that looks like a manual sync. Okay, that's fine. So I can stash that, and we'll pull from upstream Debian, and excellent. Okay, so Mike has updated the packages for 126.1, but there's a 126.2 now. So we can in fact do something useful here. So let's rev this package. We're going to go to this release 126.2. And it's going to be new upstream release. Okay. There we go. That's good. So now we'll pull down, this will pull down the tarball from use scan warn Debian watch no matching hrefs. Well, that's disappointing. Why not? Let's try using. What's wrong with this regex? Huh. Why doesn't that work? I hate these watch files. Let's just look at Debian rules. In fact, let's stop using the terminal. What does this repack? No, it doesn't. Huh. So So there's a lot of love for Go I see in the chat there. And also conversation sparking off about Pocket Base and what have you. No, go away. Why are you being dim? There we go. Right then. Okay, how the heck are we going to fix this? Let's so it's telling me an ad is going to run now. Apparently. Must have been half an hour then. Right then. Okay, I'm just having a little think here, because I might fudge it, but I don't want to. Ah! Right then. Yeah, indeed. I am having a think, Paul. I hate these things because I don't see anything in here that should prevent this, unless, of course, it hasn't released an XZ file upstream this time. So, oh, this is being grabbed from. Oh, that's curious. I wonder why he made that change. Let me just have a look. I think I see what's changed here. So I added that. The submodules we know about. Mate, yeah, okay. Use version 4. So this did work when I pulled this down. It must have done, because I clearly built it. So I think that maybe this is not tagged in the upstream Git. I think it may be the issue. Oh man, okay, let's go and have a look then. Okay, and we were looking at Kaja, weren't we? When it says it's... There it is. It has been. Oh! Aha! It is not indeed the version that we thought it was. Look at that. It's 126.2.1. So it's actually a different release number than what we were expecting to see. That's curious. That looks like a bug in the release process to me. I'll speak to Wolfgang about that. Okay, well, mystery solved. Let's see if we can go and fix that now. So, 1.2.1 apparently. So, as we were, let's go back here and now, well, we'll run that. That should work now. Oh, it still doesn't work. Well, that's disappointing. 126.2.1. Oh, because now the regex absolutely doesn't match. Yeah, okay. When regular expressions are not your friend. Okay. I'm just going to do a little bit of investigation here a second, because I there'd be an we're just going to look and see which projects are using GitHub as their, most of them. Here we go. Okay. So, in fact, none of the actual Mate projects, though. These are all of the third-party things. Huh. Why do we do that? Because it was something to do with cruft in the source packages. Okay, so let's do this. Yeah, I think we're going to just cheat big style. Oh, hello. Caught me in a moment of deep thought. Ah, King Egypt asks a good question. In fact, I should probably do something about that. So, thank you, Yadig, for joining. Welcome. The music is from this place. Hang on. Let me just bring up the link and I'll paste it in chat. The music is from there, Stream Beats, and it's copyright-free music, and there's tons of it. You can either download it or you can play it through the popular streaming services, and it's all free to use. They get monetized if you play it through Spotify and Apple Music. You obviously they get pay per play, on that. But you do get a license for free that you can slap in YouTube videos and what have you. Some time ago I was using other music sources that claimed to be copyright free. Every single video on YouTube that isn't using Stream Beats has been copyright ID'd of mine. And I thought I was using all music sources that were supposed to be free of copyright. So everything that isn't Stream Beats has been copyright ID'd on YouTube, and every video I've released that uses Stream Beats, which I think is everything I've done since February last year, is fine. Never had an issue. So I highly recommend Stream Beats. And there's lots of different styles as well. Oh dear, what did I just type? I hope I haven't paused anything accidentally. I don't think so. Right, let's get back down here. So here we go. I wonder if all of these look very familiar. So our regular expression is no longer fit for purpose based on the unusual versioning of that package. Okay, every single one is like this now. Okay, so let's just grep out the snapshot line. They're all the same, aren't they? So if I do that, paste it through, and then do cut. So what I'm doing here is just trying to isolate if they're all identical or not, because I'm just trying to assess the scope of this problem, because I'm thinking if we're about to do a new code release in upstream, if it's going to break every single rule in the Debian build system. So I'm just taking a little look here. So we'll get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop. Okay. So if we now get rid of everything up to the first brace, in fact, actually, no, the one of those, F2. Oop, hello. Well, that's curious. Why is that doing that? Oh, of course. Okay. Oh, nuts. Okay, what am I going to break this on then? Oh, I know. There we go. Oh, it's still... Oh, okay, because some of them are... Okay, well, let's do it on that then. There we go. Okay. So it looks like they're all going to be the same, because this is the actual... One of them's different. Aha! Which one is that? That one looks different. So let's have a look at whatever that was. Let's grep for that and look for where that one was. So that was the themes. Okay, so it's possible that may help us. Unlikely, but we'll try it. Right then, let's try and grab the tarball and see if that helps. No, bother. I didn't think so. Ah, this is so annoying. I don't want to go through all of this nightmare. I may just knock this on the head. I feel like anti-alien attack is fast approaching. Let's just do, for the purposes of... No, we can't. Can we get away with that? In fact, let's just have that like so. No. Oh. Oh, I see, because it's got no. Yeah, these ones are hideous as well. Paul, I agree. What I was trying to do was just sidestep this mess by oh, unknown verb. Oh dear. I don't know why we're being so specific. This is what, you know, I'm grappling with here. So, hello and welcome, Tommy Two Toes.
Tommy_2toes.
Really good. Right, let's do this. Let's do. No. I'm going to have to go away and do some digging into this. I don't want to get into this nonsense now. I wonder why that release has been so messed about with. Tommy Two Toes, yes, I believe so. Right, okay. Well, okay, there is one other option. Let's do this. just to get the damn thing built. Right. Yeah, this is why. It's because this is not. That might do it. I'm just guessing at this point. No, I knew it wouldn't like this. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Doesn't understand it in that context, does it? Let's try this then. Let's try code. Let's see if we can get GitHub Copilot to do this for us. So let's do version string regular expression. Oh, come on. There we go. That's close enough. Let's see. Let's see. That's not going to be quite right because it might get away with it. So let's just Control Z, put this stuff out. I think that's still too, oops. I think that's still too restrictive. Yeah, no matching thing found. Because technically this is going to have to be oh, I'm in the wrong place. That. Which is, no, still not good. Okay. I officially end my interest in solving this problem now. I'm going to have to go away and mess about with regular expression parsers. Okay. Right, well, I did say, let's see if we can get anti-alien attack to work. That will be a challenge in itself. So, let's see what we can do. I think I'm biting off more than I want to chew again here, but let's have a little think. Yeah, okay, we'll just do the basics, because the thing that I was going to do was redo the joystick support a different day. So okay. So core utils we should have. We're going to ignore this. So let's just cat the readme file. And what do we need? We need lolcat mpg123. Okay, that should probably do it. Okay, that's those things. Yeah, thanks, Mandy. I'll take a look at that later. Well, I'm just a bit disappointed that that change has been made in the upstream project because I'm gonna have to speak to the rest of the team because I don't know if that's like an accident or if that's a change in the way the versioning is going to work from now. But I don't want to get into fixing all of that all at once. Ncurse's bin. I think it's probably installed. And what was it? Obs tools. There we go. We needed that. Okay. Let's see. Prop PS is definitely going to be installed by default. Xbox controller support. So this was the bit I was going to change. So I'm not going to install any of that because, yeah, the problem. So Takeoff, you're making a very good point. Regular expressions can be, you know, tricky. They can be great as well. The problem is that the regular expression that's been added to all of those Debian control rules files, or the watch files rather, is identical and quite rigid, very rigid in fact. And that's why I'm hesitant about making such a big change, because I don't know if we're going to have to do it everywhere. So I need to have a conversation before I start weighing in and making a bunch of changes. And I would have messaged Mike now, but I know he's canoeing somewhere in Denmark at the moment, so he won't be available for a consultation. Right then, okay, I'm going to try... I'm going to try muting the music. This could be hella loud, so if you're listening on headphones, be forewarned, what I'm about to do might be mega loud. And I think the other thing I need to be mindful of is that this was intended to be like a vertical shooter thingy, so maybe that kind of screen size is what I need. I wonder if that's going to even have enough character dimensions. Let's find out. I don't know how this is going to go. I haven't even tried to launch this game, or I say game, for like 3 years. Yep, there we go. That's what I expected. So the first thing is it knows that I need a bigger terminal. So let's get down to a terminal size that it's happy with. So there's 43. Oops, what have I done? That was a mistake. Okay, so that's 43 by 96. So that's probably going to have about the right kind of aspect. So let's just minimize this and this and this. And we'll put this in. Oh, you swine. Did you see what it did there? It's making me sad. Okay. There we go. That will probably give us plenty of space. All right, then. Let's try again. Okay. I said it was going to be loud. So, it worked, but the font's no good because the font is designed. It's designed to use a very particular font, isn't it? Oh crikey! How do I solve this problem? I think I have to bring in something like this, and maybe temporarily changed the font. I had a separate profile in the past just for this with a. So let's go to preferences. Let's clone the default. We'll call it AAA. And then we'll change the font here to, here it is. It's one of these IBM fonts. One of these IBM fonts. I can't remember which one though. I think it was, IBM VGA. Could have been one of these. Could have been that. It needs to support code page 37 or something. Okay. Let's do that. How do I actually choose that particular? That's not doing what I want, is it? How do I make this the active one? Do I have to start a new shell with that? No. Okay. Yeah, it's so this is where, you know, I'm trying to dredge up memories from a long time ago. Let's see if I can do it here. There we go. Right. Okay, let's do a new profile. Right then. New. No. Close. New. Base it on the default. Yes. Change this to IBM VGA, one of these. We'll assume it's that one. I'm not certain. We'll then change the background colors here to be custom, and we'll do gray on black. White on black even, probably better. Close. Close and profile AAA. There we go. So maybe this will work, who knows. I don't know how I control the volume actually. I think I'm going to need to bring up Havu control off screen. Has that put that on the stream? It has, hasn't it? Let's just move that out here somewhere, and I will have to go and find the appropriate device. So let's try this now. There we go. There we go. Volume's under control. So this is this is Anti-Alien Attack. This is a game written in Bash, a 2-player shoot 'em up, and it's miserable to play on the keyboard, by the way. So you can see from this, this is doing, you know, real-time rendering. So those sprites are animated. That flickering you're seeing is intended. That's the boosters on the ships being flickered, and you can see, you know, the different instructions being presented on the screen. So yeah, that's doing a real-time sort of cosine sine wave manipulation on an array of ANSI graphics. So that's the game, and you can see here we're bringing up the in air quotes sprites to explain each of the ships that you'll encounter. And I can't remember, this is going to be horrible, this is why I implemented joystick controls, and there we go. These are the boss ships as well, so you know it's got all of that stuff going on in it as well. So press 1 for one player. Oh, I haven't got the terminal highlighted. Let's try that then. Okay.
Ready, level 1, go!
Oh, as you can see, I'm already dead because I can't remember what I'm doing, and like I said, the can't remember what there it is.
Mission failed.
There we
Game
go.
over.
So this is it, and this is why you can see I was wanting to implement newer joystick control, because playing it on the keyboard is beyond crap. But hooking it up to one of the keyboard to joystick tools works a treat. So you know, that was it very briefly. Now I know what the controls are. Let's try again. So here we go.
Ready, level 1, go!
And you can see that the green ones are. Let's see if I get it. Go on. So I'm picking up some bonuses. Ooh. Ah, nuts. These green ones will aim at you. You know, they're homing. And whilst I'm flashing like that, I'm invincible. Oh. Now I'm not invincible. So, oh, there we go. As that proves.
Mission failed. Game over.
That's the game. I think what I'll do is I'll dust off the. We'll do a stream next week where we put the new joystick support in and get that updated, because it's sort of a tech demo more than anything. But that's anti-alien attack for anyone that hasn't seen it before. And yeah, it's got the way that it does the sound and the music is rather cunning. So if we look at the sound effects code here, it uses MPG123, so it plays out MP3 files. So just basically a new process for each sound effect that needs playing. So actually, if you run like a process monitor in game, when it gets busy, it is spawning audio things like crazy all over the place. And then the music, because I was like thinking, how do I do this? That uses the OG player. So the music is OGs and the sound effects are MP3. So I can use different tools to play out the different audio files. So I can control those threads independently of one another. So yeah, it was a fun project to work on, and the audio stuff was by far and away the easiest bit. But the main game loop is a bit mental. Morning, Graham. How you doing? So yeah, there's just acres and acres of this, and because it has to move so much stuff around, you'll have noticed there's judicious use of local variables, but just a hideous amount of global variables as well to move things around. So all the logic, this is the main game loop, and as you can see, it's a bit mental. And I think this is the game loop here, in fact, which does run. It does run at 60 frames per second, if you can believe that. There we go. So we'll dust that off and freshen that up at some point. But how disappointing. Well, okay. I think then, as I was saying earlier, we'll take a look at the new OBS on Friday. Let's just go out and take a quick look at that. So King Egypt is asking a good question. It's this Friday, isn't it? Oh, nuts. Oh, man. Yeah, so King Egypt's asking, is anyone planning going to the Jupiter Broadcasting meetup in London on Friday? So if you look on Meetup, there's either Jupiter Broadcasting or Jupiter Signal meetup, and Alex is organising that somewhere in London, and I've just realised I'm not able to make that now. I was intending to go, but I can't make it now, which is a shame. Yeah, okay, yeah. I've got family commitments on Friday that I can't avoid now, so unfortunately I won't be able to go. That's a shame. I was kind of looking forward to that one. So let's bring up this. Let's go over here. So what we'll be looking at on Friday is let's go to GitHub. There was a new beta release of OBS Studio 28 last night. Here is all of the details. This is a good read, worth reading. If you're at all interested in OBS, it's worth reading. There are a couple of real gems in here for Linux users, but this is a big change. So it moves to Qt 6 among other things, which means that you know, all things are new, and it's also the big improvement on the Linux side of the show is somewhere buried in here. This one. This is going to be a big deal for us Linux users. Moving from GLX to EGL means that it opens up DMA buffs, so it should mean that screen capture, when not you're having to use things like hacked up NVFBC access on NVIDIA, or things like sucking directly off of Vulkan when you know specifically the thing you want to capture is Vulkan. EGL should mean that for most people, most of the time, screen capture is going to be significantly more performant and less of a drain on the system. Screen capture on Linux has been notoriously bad, and this, I've been following the commit history. It's not an area of expertise, but George's is pretty awesome. He's done amazing work on OBS in the last couple of years. This should be a big deal for Linux users. Hello, Rocket. Excuse me, Mr. Rocket. How you doing? I'm very well, thank you. A little bit disappointed that this stream has been a bit thwarted this morning due to unforeseen issues in the way that the upstream releases have changed. Also, this should be good as well. Updating Ceph, which is what handles browser sources, always comes with less overhead and many fixes. So on Friday, what I'm going to be looking at is taking my scripts which build OBS for Ubuntu, but with all of the extras baked in. I'll be looking at updating and revising those scripts to build this. Is it a beta? It can't be a release candidate because it's pretty, yeah, beta 1. But building this beta with all of the changes necessary to get it to work. So I can feel the code. Well, I can't feel the code. I can't feel my code. Okay, that's the longest username ever. Nearly, yeah. I'm just sort of taking a little look ahead to what I'm going to be doing next, and this is going to be it. So I will show you what I'm gonna do is a couple of things actually. So let's go to OBS fully loaded. So this script here currently just does installs. If you're familiar with my debget script, this is a bit like that, but specifically for OBS on Ubuntu. And what it will do is hook up my PPA, which is here, and is a sort of a batteries included build of OBS. So this here explains that it comes with Chrome embedded frameworks turned on, all the AGA camera stuff, AAC codecs, and all of the other accelerations all enabled. So that's my PPA, my build of OBS. And I did contact the OBS team and ask if they were interested in another collaborator on the official OBS packages, and I've not heard back from them. So I think I'll ping them again, given that this beta's out now, and say, hey, I'm going to be looking at this, want to collab on it. And then this script, the OBS Install Script, pulls the packages out of that PPA, but then installs all of these extensions. So these extensions add a whole bunch of the stuff that I use in OBS to make all of the things that I use possible. And so I can see your questions. I can't feel my code. I'll get to it in just a moment. So this installs a bunch of stuff. Now, what I'm going to have to be cautious about is this. First of all, I need to be careful about how we update the WebSockets stuff, because WebSockets 5 is built into OBS 28. So we need to change this script to install the backwards compatible WebSockets 4.9 so that the two can coexist properly. And then I need to then check all of these to see which of these use Qt directly rather than the OBS APIs. If any of these plugins use Qt and were built against Qt 5, they will not work and will likely crash OBS Studio 28, because OBS Studio 28 is Qt 6 only. So what I'm going to be doing is having to put some logic in this script to know which version of OBS it's installing, to know whether or not the plugins are compatible or not. So we're going to have some sort of conditional gating on whether a plugin gets installed. And I did see in the release notes that the OBS Studio team are clearly aware of this decision, and it makes sense. Their rationale absolutely stands up. There's no complaint here about why they're making this change. But in here somewhere it says that they're going to be trying to help that the popular plugin authors have updated their plugins prior to the full release. So I shall be following along with all of this. So this is going to be something that I'm going to be looking at for a little while here. So this is curious. So it could be that 2004 is no longer viable. So we will ship OBS 28 via a PPA for Ubuntu. So this team are going to be doing the PPA for 2004, but built against Qt 5.12. Okay, so this is actually useful to read. So I'll follow the same process. So, okay, but I guess that implies then that they're going to be building the version against 2204 against Qt 6. We currently okay, plugins. Yes, so I was just explaining about the issues with plugins. So therefore these platforms are no longer going to be supported by OBS 28. Okay. So that's all interesting stuff. So this is going to require some thought, and I need to be careful how I implement that. And I'm going to extend an offer to help again. So I saw I can't feel my code asked a question here. I thought your OBS fully loaded was a snap. Yeah, so I did maintain the snap of OBS Studio for a couple of years, and that was build from source OBS and also build from source all of the plugins, most of those plugins that we were just looking at in that list of stuff. And it was all built inside a single snap, so everything was bundled. But some of the confinement of snaps meant that it was getting harder and harder to support. And more importantly, I was spending hundreds of hours maintaining that snap, and most of the bugs and things that I was fixing and addressing didn't actually affect me. And I was just burning so much time on it. I couldn't justify that kind of time on fixing and maintaining stuff that I was personally getting no benefit from. So I pivoted. I let the team know, the Snapcraft team know, that I'd be stepping down from maintaining the snap of OBS, and I went in search of other ways that I could run OBS to satisfy, rather selfishly, my own interests, and OBS fully loaded is the outcome of that. So it's a build of OBS with all of the bits baked in, so it's kind of like what's in the official PPA, but I've built it in a way that it conforms with the Debian packaging, so there's compatibility between the versions of OBS Studio published in the Ubuntu and Debian archives. Because the other thing I want to do is start building lots of the plugins as debs in the same PPA, so that they can be installed, managed and upgraded discreetly in a sensible way, rather than using a shell script which crams stuff in your local plugins folder. So Mr. Rocket says, why would they drop 8.1? Well, they're dropping all the platforms where Qt 6 is not supported. So that's why they're dropping support for those versions of Windows and Mac OS and what have you. It's where a current version of Qt 6 is available or not available. So it's kind of out of their hands. I get why they're doing it. It makes perfect sense. You know, they've had this sort of, let's call it, technical debt building for a couple of years. They've been, you know, shipping on Qt 5. Qt 5 went out of maintenance about 2 years ago now, I think. So, you know, they've done a good job, but they can't, you know, you can't keep, you know, kicking that can down the road. No, it's not that Qt 6 axed a lot. It's that Qt 6 has defined what its target platforms are, and similarly, they won't want to be keeping, you know, unnecessary technical debt just because 8.1 is still technically supported. I mean, how many people would be streaming on Windows 8.1? I think almost none, right? You got to think about, you know, what's reasonable for the team. So, you know, I agree with their decisions, but it does require some careful thought on my part on how we handle upgrades and what have you, but that's fine. So that's what I'm going to be starting to look at on Friday. Now, the other thing, the other thing is I'm streaming again today. I hate it when I push a button on my stream deck just as a song ends and I think, what have I just done? So, I am wearing my Slim AI shirt. I work for Slim AI and I also stream on twitch.tv/SlimDevOps. And later today, I'm going to be streaming over there and I'm going to be continuing a project I started a couple of weeks ago. I made an optimized operating system for the Raspberry Pi. So it was a real trim version of Ubuntu with Docker pre-installed that you run on a Raspberry Pi. So it's like a container optimized OS for the Raspberry Pi. So I made that a couple of weeks ago. And today what I'm going to be doing is using some of the same tricks to try and make Raspberry Pi optimized base images for the same platform. The idea being that we'll have a lean OS for building and running containers, and then we'll have a lean base image for ARM or using to deploy our apps and what have you. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So that's going to be sort of fairly low level Linux plumbing in constructing a base image from scratch. So this is not going to be just taking the Ubuntu base image and stripping things out. We're actually going to be creating our own Ubuntu base image, but tuned and customized from the outset. So I'll be streaming that in approximately 8 hours from now. So this evening my time. So that's what I'm going to be working on later. So let's just, I am now aware I need to put some additional chat commands in for this sort of thing. So I will be streaming there later. So if you want to see some wrangling with Raspberry Pis and containers and that sort of stuff, head on over there to twitch.tv/slimdevops and give us a follow, and I'll be doing that a bit later, and I hope to see you there then. Right, as for that, I hope you enjoyed that little look at anti-alien attack. We'll do that properly in a little bit. We'll next week sometime I'll finally get round to dusting off and fixing up the joystick support in that, so that's playable again. And I think, well, Friday's definitely going to be OBS. There's a good chance that maybe Monday will be a continuation of that, because I think failure rate on Friday is going to be high. But there's plenty to poke around and look at there to make progress, but we'll see how we get on. And let's think. Next projects will be, well, I need to figure out what's going on in Mate, but I think sometime next week I will be looking at unifying Debian Mate and Ubuntu Mate. I was going to do that Friday, but I want to do this OBS stuff now. I want to get ahead of that before things get close to release. I don't want to find that I have a bunch of issues to contend with just as they're sort of, you know, gearing up for a final release. So, right, what have we got here? I'm just looking for... there's always so many people streaming this time of day, but not in English, and it always looks really interesting. And I managed to get this wrong the other day. Managed to raid someone who was German language, so that didn't go so well. In fact, I don't even think they noticed we raided, so probably it wasn't that bad. So let's head over here. I was looking at this stream the other day. They certainly looked pretty interesting, so let's do this. We got somebody here working on custom Twitch overlays, which I obviously think is very interesting, but yeah, it's good stuff. So we'll go and hop over there, and hopefully I will see you on Friday for more fun and games. And I hope you all have a fabulous day, and I might see you a bit later on. So bye bye for now.